What up? What up? What up? Yo, this is your girl Nat the GM, and you back with another episode of the Three Pete Podcast. What's going on, y'all? Say what's up to my guy Jones. Jones, what's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? I've been excited for this for 2 weeks because a lot has been happening, so I can't wait to get into this.
So, we're gonna get right into it. We
Woo,
had something totally different we were gonna talk about today. We were gonna talk about who's the
sure
top
did.
10 players, in the league right now, blah blah blah, and then we had two blockbuster trades, you know, in the matter of a week. Two.
Two of them, two of them, and it might not be over. I feel like it ain't even over yet. Even though the season is right around the corner, I still think there's more to come, but no bigger than what we already seen. Those two that we just saw, I don't think it can get any bigger than that.
So you already know. Like, what do you think of the deal with Portland and Milwaukee when it comes to Damian Lillard being traded to the Milwaukee Bucks? What do you think of that exchange, and Drew Holiday going to Portland and then he got rerouted someplace else? We'll get into that. But what do you think of that trade? Like, what do you think?
So for me, being let me just say this for everybody that might be listening. I'm a huge Dame fan. Huge. I'm like I said in uh earlier podcast we had
Hmm.
where I was talking actually the first episode of this
Yep.
season when I talked about Wade. I like the underdog, the guys that not everybody's looking at. And Dame was
Hmm.
one of those guys when he came in the league and lit up the summer league, won MVP, and that's when I was like, oh yeah, he's about to be one of those guys. And then sure enough, he's one of those guys. So for me, as a fan, I love it. Absolutely love it. As a fan of basketball, I absolutely love it. Now for Portland, obviously they didn't get anything close back to what Dame is, but that never works out like that. So
Right.
that's just what it is. But I do think they got some nice pieces back outside of Drew, because obviously we know where he's going. He's going all the way east,
Hmm.
um, somewhere
Hmm.
very close to home. But no, I think for the Bucks, this is a very scary team now, with Dame, and not just because of what they have on paper and what they have on the court, just because of the everything behind it. Dame's
Hmm.
been chasing a ring forever. He tried to stay loyal in Portland forever, but now he has his opportunity. He didn't get to go to Miami. It is what it is. You
Hmm.
still have the best opportunity to win a championship in Milwaukee. I think it's even better than the chances he had in Miami. My personal, that's just what I think. Um, yeah, so that's just what I think as far as that part goes. Great
Hmm.
for the Bucks, and I think the Trailblazers got some good pieces back. Obviously, they would love to keep Drew, but obviously that didn't happen, and we obviously know he wanted to go and compete. But I think they got some for the Trailblazers and the direction that they want to go, build those young guys. I think they got some nice pieces all around, and in a few years they might be something. But
Yeah.
we all know the storyline is Dame wanted to go compete for a championship. Obviously, he wanted to go to Miami, but I think this was a blessing in disguise because me personally, I don't think it was going to happen in Miami. I just don't. I didn't think so. So him going to Milwaukee was a
Hmm.
blessing in disguise. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
I mean, it wasn't going to happen in Miami. I mean, I know last year was very interesting because the Bucks just looked defeated that first
Yeah.
round, and I understand that there was some injuries, and Giannis went down. But when you are a championship team, one person going
Right.
down, it still shouldn't shake you that much when you go
Mm-hmm.
out in 5 games.
Yep.
It and so it was like regardless, as to the fact that he was injured, the rest of them did not play well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
And it was include Chris Middleton, Brooke Lopez. Everyone, no one played well, really.
Right.
It just wasn't good. You know,
It
so
wasn't.
I thought that that was interesting. A lot of some of those, like some of those guys, are still there. Now we got to see if Chris
Right.
Middleton is healthy.
Hmm.
And what does he look like? It's not the matter of is he going to get better. Chris Middleton is who he is. It's a matter of if
Yep.
he can get his body back to where it was 2 or 3 years ago. That's
Right.
that's what he's
Hundred
battling.
percent.
But with this roster and what you see, they get Damian Lillard and out goes Drew Holiday. So
That's gonna hurt.
it's they
Not all the
traded
way,
in
but
defense for offense,
right.
right?
Right.
So often they say, okay, I'm going to outscore you. I still think they have similar problems that they did last year, but they offensively they should be able to score with anybody.
Anybody.
They should be able, yeah, right. They should be able to go back and
Anybody.
forth, go on huge runs, everything. Where it gets a little interesting though is when you talk about defensively, is Brooke Lopez going to have another great season? He's a year
Hmm.
older, you know.
Yep.
Or you're talking about is the bench. Their bench is still a little older, and it's not a lot of
Right.
athleticism per se, and that's what actually killed them in that first round. They were getting
Hmm.
murdered on both sides
Yeah.
of
Oh my God.
the ball. So
Yep.
I'm looking at them now and I'm like, but Damian Lillard, we can't scoff at that because that's not a scoffing moment. They are
Right.
going to play fantastic together. And they're gonna
That
look
pick and roll.
that it's gonna be crazy. That pick and roll is gonna be insane. Damian Lillard is going to get more open, he's going to get more looks. He's going to to have Giannis as the guy that as your one, if
Mm.
you're a two to Giannis, who you can argue is the best player in the league. You can argue
Hmm.
it. There's a huge argument for it.
100%. 100%.
But that's huge right there. So they're gonna be great. They're gonna be so damn good. But then something happened like 3 days, 4 days later, and I'm like, Drew Holiday then goes from Portland, and they say, you know what? No, I'm actually going to send you to Boston in exchange for 2 picks that belong to the Golden State Warriors, and one is Boston's pick. And in the first round, and Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon, Drew Holiday comes to Boston. When you first saw that, because it was like Sunday morning, this was just yesterday, y'all. Sunday morning, and you was like, all right, Drew Holiday to Boston. What was your initial thought?
My initial thought was we are going to have one hell of an Eastern Conference Finals. We are going to have one hell
Yep.
of an Eastern Conference Finals. Lord have mercy. And then you came up, and then I was like, yeah, Nat is smiling from ear to ear. Christmas came early. And I'm sitting over here like, God damn, as a fucking Knicks fan, like, we had a small window. Like, we had a very small. Now it's just Knicks. You guys are just playing just for seeding, basically. You guys are just playing to get knocked out first or second round, wherever you guys decide you want to get knocked out. It's not fun as a Knicks fan. It really sucks that, especially me being. I mean, I respect the Boston Celtics. I like the Celtics, but at the same time, they are a rival of the Knicks.
Is it
So
really a rivalry?
not a real rivalry. You know what I mean, though. Like, it's not a rivalry for you because you guys have been whipping our asses the past fucking 10 years. But for me, yes, it's a rivalry because we fucking don't like you guys. But I mean, as a fan, though, I absolutely love it. So go ahead, Glow. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, this is what I'll give you. This is what I'll give you. I initially, right, and there's a part of me that is still a little perturbed. And I'll say that because I do really like Drew Holiday. I really do. But I am still I'm one of those people and of the group of people that I was upset that there was an issue with Malcolm Brogdon because Malcolm Brogdon has been a starter his whole career.
Yeah.
Malcolm Brogdon has literally been a starter his whole career. He's been a great point guard his whole damn career. He then
100%.
comes to Boston and says, I'll come off the bench to a guy like Marcus Smart, who he was still a better point guard than.
Mm-hmm.
He was more efficient. He had more experience running the point. He free throws, like, and he was also known as a good defender when you talk about Malcolm
Yes.
Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon never got a fair shake in Boston.
No.
And that's what I struggled with, because you then give up Malcolm Brogdon, you then give up Robert Williams for one player.
Mm.
Now,
Yeah.
I understand in theory, I get it, I really do, that Drew Holiday is a better point guard than Marcus Smart. I'm not arguing that.
No question.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not. I'm just still, like, the jury is still out for me if he's light years better than Malcolm Brogdon.
Right.
That and that's what I'm going to struggle with going forward, because I thought that Malcolm Brogdon still brought an element to this team that is needed, and he's not here. And then there was rumblings that there was something wrong, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, no crap, like no shit, there's something wrong, because
Right.
you're putting him in trades every 5 minutes ever since June.
Right.
You
Exactly.
keep putting him in trades, and I'm
What do
like,
you expect?
he just had a hell of an efficient season. He just won 6 Man of the Year, and to be honest with you, it wasn't close, Jones. It was obviously this man, like, it
Right.
was his to lose, honestly.
And how long has he been there?
1 year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he just got there.
He just
And he
got
produced.
there. He didn't get an opportunity to really, like, to build,
Right.
and
Exactly.
really see what you have. But then I have to look at the other side of this, right? Robert Williams is always injured, and I don't mean this is in any disrespectful manner to Robert Williams. I really like Robert Williams. I love what he brings to a team, and I love what he brought to the Celtics team, especially, he did, put his body out there and he gave his all. I have no issue with Robert Williams, and I wish him all the best in Portland. I think they got one of them ones. They got a guy that's a good locker room guy and is going block shots. He's a guy that can set you screens. He's a good lob threat. I love Robert Williams. But Robert Williams has also played 209 games in what's it, 4 seasons.
Mm. Yeah, that's not good. That's not
And
good,
it's
though.
in the grand scheme of things, it's not good. When you think about that, I understand why Drew Holiday is on this team.
Right.
Because Drew, he's out there, he does play, and you're not necessarily as nervous with Drew Holiday, in his health as you are with the other two that just exited. If we
Yes.
put that just in those terms, Jones, then I am very happy.
You should be. You absolutely should be. But I have some questions for you.
Of course.
Number one, speaking on Robert Williams, what does your bigs look like now? I know you got KP.
Mhm.
What do you got after that?
So here's the dilemma.
Because you guys got rid of Williams as well.
Yeah, no Robert Williams. That's why I saw no Robert Williams.
I'm sorry. What was the other
Grant
light-skinned
Williams.
dude? There you go, him.
All right. So the reason why I'm not necessarily tripping on the Grant Williams portion is because Grant Williams fell out of rotation last season. So he wasn't really playing for us for a while. So I'm not really going to trip on Grant Williams. I wish him all the best in Dallas. They have a guy that I didn't know if he was going to be a guy that was going to be in the league a long time, because when he first got here, it's like he just was out of place. He wasn't really good defensively. He didn't understand. He couldn't shoot. He just didn't understand his spacing. He didn't understand space in general. He's built himself to where he is today. So make no mistake, I got a lot of love and respect for Grant Williams. And so when he goes to Dallas, he's going to get some great minutes, and they're going to have whatever they had last year, he's adding to it to make you better.
Huge
All right?
Huge pickup.
For what we needed, he had a lot of lapses last year for us. and that was unfortunate. So Grant, unfortunately, he was not in the rotation. We put him in spurts. So Grant was like in and out in spurts or whatever. He was not
Right.
consistent. And it's because of the missed free throws, the missed assignments, the
Yeah.
bad shots. It was some things. So it was like, all right, cool. He fell out of rotation. He was gone. Whatever. Robert Williams didn't really play as much. So technically, we're right back where we started. And this is Jason Tatum running at the 4, at the 5 is Al Horford. Only this time, they go and get Kristaps Porzingis,
Right.
So now you have Al Horford to fill in that more veteran role of Grant Williams. So what Grant Williams was doing is actually what Al Horford's going to be doing
Horford did.
consistently. And I'm very comfortable with that. I'm actually very comfortable with that. When you talk about how this team looks as far as the starting lineup, I can't tell you that. I really don't know what they're thinking, what Joe is thinking, because you're
Right.
talking about it could be Tatum at the 4, Kristaps at the 5, Brown at the 3, the 2 is Derek White, and then the 1 is Drew Holiday. It could look like that, or it could look like Drew. It could look like Drew, Brown, Tatum, Horford, Kristaps. I don't know if it's a double big lineup. I don't know if Jason Tatum is going to run it back as the 4. I don't know.
Right.
Now you talk about Peyton Pritchard's going to have a bigger role. And now this is not understanding or not knowing if Brad Stevens is actually going to go and get, some other pieces. I am under the impression he is, because he said so. He's not done. I was like, all right, cool. So there's other players out there, but this is the thing. We talk about the guys as is, like the team as is. And right now we have Peyton Pritchard, we have Brissett, so you're talking about O'Shea Brissett, Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett, and Peyton Pritchard. Those are the 4 main guys right there. Now, and Jordan Walsh. I'm actually excited about Jordan Walsh and Brissett. I think Jordan Walsh is going to give 10 to 12 minutes of some really good defense, high energy. And I think that as long as he understands, not to do too much, but just do enough, I think that's going to be a good plus. Him being a rookie means nothing to me. If you understand how to play the game and you understand your role, who cares?
Absolutely.
My concern is Peyton Pritchard. That is my concern. I don't know if Peyton understands, you can't hold the ball as much as you were, because if the defense collapses on you, you are a smaller guy. It's going to make it harder for you. I don't understand if he gets the first few seconds is your best friend. I don't know if he gets that yet. I don't know if he understands, or he's become a better defender, and therefore the defense speaks for the offense. I don't know yet. So there's question marks, Jones. There's honestly question marks.
I hear it. And my question mark for you guys, even though it on paper and everything it looks great, is, I mean, of course you still can, but it's still relying on Al Horford, even being the veteran that he is, but he is aging. KP being still young, but injury prone. I just hope those things don't fall into play when it comes down, because then after that, then you get a little light in the ass after that,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm worried that everyone is just knocking on wood. Everyone's healthy, and because the Bucks got the same issues. I mean, I think they're a little bit better aligned in that area, but not by much. Not by much. So
I mean, not really. If they lose Brook Lopez, they have Bobby Portis. Or if they lose Bobby Portis, they only have Brook Lopez. It's kind of similar, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. Right. That's why I had to mention that, because it's pretty similar. So I'm just hoping that, like you said, the Celtics do more to fill that roster out. Same with the Bucks, because I honestly want to see both of you. I don't want to see nobody else in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't want to see nobody else. I'm not looking forward to no other games. I don't care. I want to see the Bucks
versus
and I want to
Boston.
see the Celtics. Let's go. And I hope it goes 7. Last shot.
Who you got?
I hate to do this to you. I hate to do this to
Do
you.
it. Go ahead.
But I gotta go with my Bucks. Not my Bucks. Let me not go there.
What is your Bucks?
Let me not go. They my Bucks for right now. For Dame. They are my Bucks in spirit because of Dame. I've been begging this man to get out of Portland. Like, dude, you see who's winning championships over here? Like, come on, dude. You one of those guys, and you over here just watching this shit. Nah, come on, man. So the fact that he finally did it, he finally was like, "Yo, get me out of here. I gotta go." And now he's actually at it. It's not like he in a team that's like, all right, they gotta work. They gotta really no. They have the chance right now. Like Boston's the other team, but I don't think there's no other. I mean, obviously teams are gonna make them competitive, but they ain't messing with those two. They're not messing with them. Those were the two biggest bombshells of the summer, of the off season, into the off season.
So Boston had 2 when we traded away Marcus.
Right, exactly.
And so I think we did the fireworks this year, along with the Bucks. So
sure did. Sure did.
There are some names that I would like to see on this team. When it comes to some veteran leadership, I don't care about younger guys on this team. They're young enough. There's a bunch of young guys already. We don't need more. So we should be able to go and get vets now. Yes. There are 2 guys that I really want on this roster because of their veteran leadership, and I think that they are in really good shape, judging by when I've seen them last, and it wasn't too long ago, it was recent. And those 2 people off the bench for 10 to 12 minutes are Dwight Howard and John Wall. Those are the only 2 people I want in a Boston Celtics jersey before tip-off later this month.
Wow.
It's only 2.
You've been doing your research. You've been doing your homework, girl. Because I can't think of any 2 better. I can't think of any 2 better than that. Because you definitely could help with another point guard, and especially a guy like John Wall. We see what he just did last year with the Clippers. He had a good season. And then Dwight, people still sleeping on Dwight like he can't do nothing. You don't need Dwight to do much. Let Dwight do Dwight, which is rebound and play defense. And we saw in LA, he's grown up enough to the point where he knows, all right, let me just play my role. Let me not do all this goofy and crap. We trying to win a championship. Let's get to work.
Absolutely.
I think that would be beautiful for you guys in Boston. Absolutely. 2 great names.
Like, besides Damian Lillard going to Milwaukee, Jrue Holiday coming here, Kristaps Porzingis coming here, I think that Boston would still win the offseason with those 2 signings, because you're talking about shoring up your bench and you don't need to do anything else. I would ride it out with Walsh and ride it out with Brissett. Brissett is a defensive-minded guy, and so is Walsh. And you don't need them to be superstars. You need them to lock in on key things that they do well. Key things. If you can defend very well, you just do that. And don't hurt us any other way. You will develop it on this team. So here's to me hoping, and I'm going to tag John Wall when we post this and everything, and I'm going to tag Dwight Howard. I'm going to tag you guys, because if y'all can reach out to, and say, hey, you want to play with Boston, that'd be great. I would love to see John Wall in a Celtics jersey. I've been dying to see him in a Celtics jersey for a long time. So this would be great. So shout out to John Wall and Dwight Howard. It's a 2-team race. Excuse me.
2-team race.
But I can't overlook another team that no one is talking about, and they look pretty damn good considering somebody looks to be 100% healthy. And I'm going to talk about the Brooklyn Nets. When you talk about Ben Simmons, Ben Simmons has not looked good in 2 years, 2 seasons since we saw him last in Philly. And obviously, we know the epic collapse with Philly. Not all his fault. It's a yes and everybody shares blame, but he hasn't been healthy since then, and it's been a solid 2 years, 2.5 years. Did you get a chance to watch the media day for Brooklyn? And if so,
No, I did not.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Ben Simmons looks good. He looks healthy. He looks like himself. He looks better. He looks like he's put on some muscle. He looks in great shape, and he looks positive. He looks happy. This is a different look from Ben Simmons that I've seen. All the reports is that this man is 100% back to his full health, and he's 100% healthy and ready. Now, as you know, they already have my guy, what's his name, Mikal Bridges.
Yep.
So, and they have Cam Johnson. They have Dinwiddie. They have Nick Claxton. What are we expecting from the Brooklyn Nets? Now, they don't get that head start like they had with KD last year. They don't get that head start. But I'm not going to scoff at these guys, especially if Ben Simmons is 100% healthy. This is why I think that they're sneaky for like a 4 or 5 seed. What do you think?
I think they are sneaky for the same reasons you said. But for me, I've seen enough. No, I don't want to say I've seen enough. I haven't seen enough from Ben over the last 2 years for me to be like, all they need is to plug in Ben and they're gonna be straight. Ben, I'm rooting for you.
Of course.
And I know it's been health, but I feel like it's been a lot of mental stuff as well. And I hope, because I don't take mental health as a joke, so I really do, hope that you've gotten your mental back.
100%.
But it's gonna have to play out on the court, my guy. I gotta see. I'm one of those guys. All right. This is the year Ben's coming. Oh no, he ain't just. This is the game he coming back. So it's been a lot of that. This is the game that Ben's gonna shoot the ball. He gonna shoot. Everybody say he been in the gym. He been shooting in the gym. All right, cool. He didn't shoot that wide open jumper. Okay, so that's where I'm at when it comes to Ben, and it frustrates me because I know he's better than that.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the jumper thing is the most frustrating thing, because who cares if you miss? Who cares? It's a jumper. Shaq has shot threes. Does Shaq need to be shooting threes? Hell no. But he did it, so you can do it. There you go. It got confidence. You got to get that confidence. You in the NBA. You are a 1%er. You are a 1%er. So
Shaq's confidence was through the roof. You know that man.
No, that's a fact.
He was the best.
That's definitely a fact.
But
I just hope that Ben Simmons, that he didn't let what happened in Philly ruin him for the rest of his career. I hope that over these past 2 years that he's been getting his body right, that he's been working on getting his mind right, because once you can be as physical in great shape as you want. If your mind ain't right, you ain't going to be right on that court. So 100%. I just hope that he's really zoned in on that, and he's confident. Like you said, he gets that confidence. Like, man, I'm going to go out there and ball this year. Like, that's all I want to do is just ball. And then I after that, I ain't got nothing else to say when it comes to Ben. But to your point about Brooklyn, yes, they won't have the head start, but I like those guys, dude. And I'm not a Nets fan at all. I'm from Harlem. We don't really mess with Brooklyn over here, but and it's Knicks, so they over here. Come on now, Harlem. But I love Cam Johnson and I love Mikal Bridges. I love that team when they were with the Suns, because they were a big piece in why they got to the finals that year. Absolutely. Yeah, Booker went off, but those guys were going off. Like, I'm a big UNC fan, so I know I've been watching Cam Johnson since he was in UNC balling out. So I think they got some great Claxton. They got some young guys that are balling out. They got some veterans that are balling out and that have been put in those situations where they can learn from and teach these young guys. So I agree with you. I think this Brooklyn Nets team can make a very sneaky run, but I think it
Absolutely.
starts with Ben.
Listen, I have some running jokes with some Brooklyn fans, and I come at them, often. So, like my guy Chris from Hoop Spaces, shout out to Hoop Spaces. He said, don't sleep on the Brooklyn Nets. And then I made a little post and I said, yawn. And I made a post, somebody tucking themselves in, and knocking the hell out, and I was like, I'm dead ass sleep. But that's me in trolling, because I always do this to the fans or whatever. Absolutely. But I think Brooklyn's going to be fun. I think they're going to be a really good defensive team, and I really hope, this is me, not the GM saying this, Ben Simmons, I hope you're 100% healthy, and I hope you get your get back, and I hope you get your revenge, because you potentially could get the last laugh in this whole Philly debacle. Because Harden once out of there, you were out of there. At some point, we got to start, saying,
we know big fella getting the fuck out of there.
Listen, what's going on in Philly? Segue to Philly. Don't nobody want to be there, Jones?
No, the process has not processed.
It's done. This process is a wrap.
It's over.
It's processed.
It is processed.
And the check bounced, y'all. The check bounced. All right. They ain't got no money in the bank. I'm done.
This has to be one of the I don't even know how to put it in words, but for the fans to see where it started, they were trash. They had garbage all over the garbage bags over their heads. Then they started seeing, the process is coming, and this, that, and the third. Then they started seeing little things coming. Oh, Ben Simmons and B. What's my guy name? That got paid, that ain't doing much. What's his? I can't.
Oh, you talking about Tobias?
Tobias, there you go. Tobias.
Tobias.
I mean, I love Tobias too, because he can ball out, but then there's times where you at, my brother? Where you at? So I feel for, even though I hate Philly fans when it comes to sports, because that's just a sports thing.
People, they are very angry people.
Yes. So just to see what they're going through, that whole process has not worked, and they were looking like MVP Embiid, like, all right, we getting somewhere. Nah, everybody out of here. Ben's out of here. What's his name? Don't want to be here no more. James Harden. And B gonna be like, well, damn well I'm next. Don't even think about me staying around here unless you bringing somebody over here. If you ain't bringing nobody over here, I'm gonna do the same thing Embiid said. Giannis said, if y'all not gonna get somebody in here, I'm out of here. Absolutely. Simple as that.
You know what's funny? I said a long time ago, maybe 2 years ago, I said, it doesn't seem like people really actually want to play with Embiid. I get the Harden thing, but Harden too, I don't think he can be that choosy where he's going. So I think Embiid and him made sense. So Embiid and Harden made a lot of sense, But I thought that at some point Philly was going to have to look into trading, Joel Embiid, because no one really wants to go there and play, and it's too many problems. You have Jimmy Butler, he's out or whatever. I think he wanted to stay, but I think some choices were made, but it just didn't make sense. Ben Simmons gone. Now James Harden, he's adamant, get him out of there. At some point, we have to start looking at what is going on in Philly, and is it worth it to keep Joel Embiid there? Now, if it's not worth it, another huge blockbuster trade could go down. And let's just say if Daryl Morey gets smart, because let me tell you something, the older he gets, the less value he has.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, I believe he's 29. if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken. He's 29 or 30 years old. So if that's
Yep.
the case, then where could you potentially see Joel Embiid going that would really shake the NBA? Because it will. That trade will shake the NBA again.
It for sure will shake the NBA. Well, one place that makes a lot of sense at this point now, I don't know money-wise how it would work and who they would have to move. But for me, it makes perfect sense for him to go where Dame didn't go. And that's Miami.
Mm.
Get him and Bam and love you, Bam, but you ain't Embiid. And him and Jimmy Butler were tight friends. Jimmy Butler and Embiid were tight.
Mm-hmm.
Embiid didn't want Jimmy to be out of there. And Jimmy wanted to stay because of Embiid. I think that could work out. Obviously Knicks, just because it's the Knicks. You got everybody throws the Knicks in there just because it's the Knicks.
That would be a smart trade.
For sure, it would be a huge trade for the Knicks. I mean,
That'd be a smart trade.
It would make a whole bunch of sense. Get those guys out of there that we need to get out of there.
You talking about RJ and Randall?
Yes, you know what I'm talking about, Randall.
I know you talking.
Nah, Randall. I've got you. You made me come a little bit more on Randall because
you on my side now.
I'm on your side more, not all the way, but he's still getting me tight. But I'm more on your side because you have made some great points about Randall. But yeah, that obviously makes sense. And there was one other place that I was thinking about, and I can't think of him now. Hawks. No, I can't think of the spot, but Miami to me would make the most sense.
So I don't see him staying east if he were to potentially, because now it's clear now that with the trades that have gone on this,
it's over.
It's done.
Don't.
It was done before the trades.
So he can't even. Don't even think about coming in the East. It's a wrap. It is just the Bucks and the Celtics.
It was done before these trades happened. It was absolutely done. All right.
Oh, I love it.
But I have never seen somebody go from 6 feet under to 20 feet under in a matter of 4 days. There's no coming back from this. You're not going to beat Boston and you're not going to beat Milwaukee.
I just caught on to what you just said. Hilarious.
You're not going to do it. So with that being said, I think that Daryl Morey, you have to show us that you are a capable GM and you got to show us that you can trade Joel Embiid. That man is rotting there and you can get so much for Joel Embiid right now. He is in his prime. He is in his prime. Get that man out of there, because if he gets hurt, and I'm not wishing this on anyone, I want everybody healthy next season.
Right.
I want this to be an anomaly season. Everybody's healthy.
Right. Yeah,
but if
exactly.
he gets hurt, you ain't getting nothing for him, and it's gonna go lower and lower and lower. So with that being said, I actually think they're gonna send him west. In a team that I would look out for. A team that I would look out for, right, is the Golden State Warriors.
I knew that was coming.
I would look out because
that's what they need.
My guys are going to take a good look. So that's like my Western Conference team. I know, like, I'm a trader. Oh my God, but I love Steph Curry. I know, I get it. Oh my God. But
it makes sense though. It does make sense.
Listen, I love Steph Curry. But listen, when them guys look around, Jones, they look around, right? In Golden State, they be like, man, we got old ass Chris Paul. This man think he about to start, for 82 games or whatever. No. You got Clay, who was not good last year. He wasn't good. He was so bad. Like, it was the decision making, Jones. He was just shooting shit. He was just shooting for nothing. And I was just like, what are you doing?
He was just trying to find that shit. Like, where is it? and it just
Like
wasn't happening.
he was just firing for nothing. It wasn't shit going in. And I was just like, what are you doing, my guy? So when it comes to this team, I think that Golden State's going to take a look around and they're going to say, okay, we got to shake some shit up. They got some very tradable assets on that damn team. Super tradable assets. They got you got Moody over there. You know, they got Kuminga over there. You know, they got Wiggins over there. Those
for sure.
Those three alone,
in a heartbeat.
And with like 3 or 4 picks, that would make sense. So then, you know, would you look and say, okay, you got Dame and you got, you know, you still got Draymond, you got Clay or whatever, and do you roll it out with those guys? Now that shakes the hell out of the NBA again. We got to start talking about wing depth.
We got to start talking about the Warriors again if that were to happen. We have to now.
Yeah.
Damn. Steph about to go try to go get another one. This motherfucker here. Like if that's one of those groundbreaking moves if that were to happen.
Groundbreaking, and Steph still looks great, man.
Come on.
Like, Jesus Christ.
He has lost a step.
This man is so like every year he's still getting better. You know, he's still moving like he's 26, 27.
Right. And he's not.
And I'm like, ain't he 35?
Call him the baby face assassin because he looked like a baby, but he ain't no baby.
He ain't no baby. He ain't no baby.
Been around.
He looks great, but I'm concerned about the Golden State Warriors as is, though, going forward. I love what the Lakers have done. The Lakers got some really good depth pieces.
Yes.
I really like what they've done. You know, Denver, they're the defending champions. They are still great. You know, and there's some teams that, you know, we're going to have to see. The Clippers' health is a thing every year. They're not
100%.
healthy. I'm really hoping that they're healthy because a whole year with Russell Westbrook on this team, he fits so well with Paul George and Kawhi. They played some really good ball last year.
They did.
You know, so
they did.
I know people are overlooking them because of Denver and the Lakers mainly, but let me tell you something. If those guys are healthy going into the postseason, you got to beat them. You know?
No, you got to see them because we saw what they did. Who was that? That they went up against the first round and they won like the first 2 out of 3 games.
It was Phoenix, wasn't it?
Phoenix, yes, Phoenix. They went at them. And now imagine that team being fully healthy for a whole season, and you get in a close to 100% because I don't think we'll ever get a 100% Kawhi ever again. But we can get as close as we can get to that with Kawhi, and as close as we can get with health with PG. And we know what you're gonna get with Russ. That's the one thing about Russ. You don't have to say shit. You know what you're gonna get with that man. You know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get someone that's gonna give it to you every second he on that court.
Yeah, and I think he really likes being over there too.
Yeah, he's home. He went from LA to LA. Come on now, I don't get no better than that. Like, you still home. You still in the crib.
I think he's very happy over there. I think that they play a brand of basketball that fits his skill set. So I am still very, very excited for the LA Clippers.
Yes.
I'm super excited. One thing that I am looking to see is how Phoenix puts it all together, because I am very impressed actually the fact that they were able to fill out that roster, and everyone you can't play, but you don't need to. You're going to go 7 deep, maybe 7 deep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's all they really need if they're going to be healthy, you know?
Right.
The challenge is, how are they going to be defensively and how they're going to buy into Frank Vogel?
Yes.
Now, top 10 defense, if they can do it, buy into Frank Vogel, and offensively it all makes sense. Damn, the West is crazy too. Like,
the West is serious. This is going to be one of the funnest years in basketball. Like the most exciting I remember being since, even though it turned out to be the bubble year, But that year when we were going into that season where we were back to two stars on every team, like
Mm-hmm.
Russ went to the Rockets, AD's in LA. Like we it was just it seemed like it was even. It was a balanced thing. It kind of seems a little more balanced now.
Yeah, it
It
did.
seems, that's how I feel about it. So it's gonna be exciting. The Suns, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, they got obviously they got the talent, but being knowing a little bit of Frank Vogel, being the Laker, watching the Lakers at least the last few years because of Brown, um, like you said, they got to buy into being defensive players. Like that's what it's about because that's what he preaches. And if you do not get on that side of the
Mm-hmm.
ball, it's going to be some problems for those guys in there. It's definitely going to be
Yeah.
some problems. And but I think they they have the guys in that locker room that can. KD is not afraid to play back defense. We've seen
Yeah.
him be in defensive player of the year conversations.
Yeah.
Like I've seen him be in the conversation before, which is crazy. Because I'm like,
KD's been
KD ain't playing no damn defense, but
KD's
when
been
he
in
wants to,
the MVP conversations for years.
for years.
Like,
So come
yeah.
on. I mean, you got Book's gonna have to play some defense. I know he scored, but man, you got scoring everywhere. You don't got to score every bucket. You good. What's his name? That just left. That's because to me, he Aiton. There we go. Aiton. I mean, he was just. I think that was a huge headache that left that locker room. I think that's one of the biggest things that people don't even talk about. They just talk about what's on the team. They got him out of there. That's huge because
That
he
was
was.
addition by subtraction.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Addition by subtraction. That's sometimes a team needs that addition
You heard what
by
he called himself,
subtraction.
Jones? He said, "You know what they call me, dominating." Yeah.
Where
And
where
I, when he said that, I was like, if you were dominating, they would keep your ass in Phoenix
thank you.
because
Thank
they
you.
were like, he too good for us to let go. No, 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 no. They would have paid whatever they needed to over that luxury tax, 2 times over if you was dominating.
Who did they play in the finals?
I for the couple years ago was Milwaukee.
The Milwaukee. If you was dominating, you would have had a chance at winning a ring because
Well,
they were in
they
that series.
Milwaukee changed it. Like they changed it completely when they realized they had to put Giannis at that 5 position. And I was
Right?
like, once they put Giannis at that 5 position, it's
It's
a wrap.
over.
There's
It's
nothing.
over.
I love Giannis at the 5, first of all, but
Over.
yeah, once they did that, there was nothing Aiton can do. So
They shut him down. I was like, oh, they just changed this whole series. They just flipped it. Like, oh, this is what we doing? Bet. We're gonna put Giannis at 5 because
mhm.
he can do that. He liked that. And sure enough, he liked that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jones, before we start to, wind down, wrap it up, because of these trades now, you got to give me 2 teams, excuse me, that you have in the finals now. I asked you this 2 weeks ago. Now, so much has changed in 2 weeks. I need you to do this again.
All right, we're gonna start in the West. Damn, damn. You know what? All things being fair, everyone being healthy, I say this is the year the Clippers go for it. I say this is the year, even though I would hate to see that, but I can't deny how talented that team is and what they can put together. I don't trust. I'm still not trusting the fans. I mean the Suns. Love what they got on paper.
Mhm.
I gotta see it to believe it. You gotta stay healthy. I said they weren't gonna do it last year. They can't stay healthy. And Durant was there for 5 minutes and got injured. You feel me? So
He was healthy in the playoffs, Jones. You're not
he
gonna play
was.
that, man.
He was, but still, was he not injured like 5 minutes into?
No, it was just precaution.
We gonna go with the Suns, and then
Nah, you said you going with the Clippers.
sorry, the Clippers. I apologize, Clippers, and then in the East. As much as it pains me to say this, I think the Celtics will go to the finals. The reason why is because their team, from top to bottom, looks better than the Bucks. Even though, dang, it's that time. It's that time. I need this.
They ain't gonna get locked the fuck up in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm sorry, I couldn't hold that. They ain't gonna get locked the fuck up in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm telling you something, because then when they gotta look around, and the next guard they got is Connaughton, and then they gotta look at Malik Beasley and say, yeah, go stop them. Go, yeah, you go. You got Jaylen Brown over there. You got Tatum. You got Derek White. Go stop him. And he gonna be like, they gonna be like, I mean, I'm not here for that.
It's already started, y'all. She already started. She
Listen,
couldn't even wait to tip off. We already got the shit.
Don't get it twisted. The last 2 years, my team has been in the Eastern Conference Finals.
You know what?
The last 2 years, the Milwaukee Bucks can't get past the second round. So hopefully y'all get past the second round this time, because you got Damian Lillard. I'm actually going to be a little controversial.
I was gonna be nice, and I was trying to be nice and pick your team, but nope. Going with the Bucks now. You're going with the Bucks.
You can't take it back. You can't take it back.
Me and you got to go at this year. I thought you was gonna have some.
You thought I was gonna be humble.
Humble. There you go. I thought you were gonna be humble a little bit. She said, "No, we're gonna lock Dame up." Why you had to go there?
You had to go there. You know what it is? Damian Lillard annoys the shit out of me. Like, he annoys the shit out of me, because he goes, right? I'm going to go on my little Damian Lillard rant, right? Which is why I'm so excited that he's over there in Milwaukee and we get to play them. God. Damian Lillard is one of the most annoying stars I have ever seen. Like, because I'm loyal, but I'm going for a championship on a team that ain't nobody trying to go to and win, so there's no expectation. And you knew that. There was no expectation in Portland, but you always look like the savior. You always look like you're trying your best, and we're going for a championship. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. You knew good and damn well every single year you played, you have never competed for a fucking championship. You know this.
They did get to a Western Conference Finals.
You did, but like, we can go back on those series and shit, you know, and you did, you know, and good for you. But there was some series that he lost. Do you remember? And it wasn't too long ago. I think it was 2 years ago, just 2 years, where he lost, and his team was healthy. The Portland Trail Blazers were way more loaded, right? When they lost to Denver, but it was Joker and company. It was like. Yes. Campazzo and it was Austin Rivers.
Yes.
They lost that team. I don't give a shit if Joker was on that team. You are Damian Lillard. He is who he is to people. You should have won. You had way more firepower. There were guys that were no names in Denver, and you could not get it done because it was some bad decision making also with Damian Lillard that nobody talks about. You know, so those kinds of things is what I remember. You know, I remember when you should have won and you didn't, you know, and then we don't want to talk about that. But when we talk about like, oh, I had no help, but I'm going after this championship. When the fuck? What are you talking about?
It's a good point. You ain't going you wasn't going for no championship in Portland.
No, you wasn't. And then you're trying to force your way to a team that ain't got no damn assets. And you knew that. To be honest with you, Jones, I don't think this motherfucker wanted to go to Miami. I really think that he was trying to get his ass to Milwaukee, trying to make it seem like he wasn't trying to team up with somebody like Giannis. I really feel like he wanted to make it seem like he was going to the eighth seed, trying to make them better as opposed to
Right.
seed. I really think that's what happened.
Mm.
They had no assets, Jones. What the fuck were they going to give you? Like, what were you going to give them in Portland that they actually wanted? Nothing. You had no pieces.
Right.
You had no pieces.
That's
So
a good point.
I just think he plays a lot of games because he doesn't want to get looked at like Kevin
As the
Durant or
bad guy.
James Harden.
Right.
He doesn't
Good
want
point.
he cares about how he's perceived, and that's honestly why I have an issue with Damian Lillard. So I can't wait to beat his ass, So honestly, thank you for coming east. Welcome. We're gonna wish you a good year. Oh yeah, we're gonna see what time it is.
We sure is.
When Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum spinning his ass, and he like, Giannis, where you at?
See. Hey, Jason, what's up, my man? You know what time it is.
Of course.
Oh,
But listen,
I can't wait.
I'm going to pick the Los Angeles Lakers.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
And I'm going to pick the Celtics. I think it's going to be a Celtics-Lakers finals.
Ooh, I gotta hear your reason behind the Lakers one. I gotta hear this.
So here's the thing. I don't know just yet if what Denver has lost is enough where it's too much of a loss that they can't come back from it. I'm not sure yet. I'm not trying to say that they can't, because in another conversation, I think I picked Denver, but then I'm looking at all the teams. I'm like, I don't know just yet. They lost Bruce Brown. I thought it was a big piece. Maybe it doesn't matter if Michael Porter Jr. takes that next step or he takes 2 steps. Maybe it doesn't matter. I'm not sure yet. But then, I just got to see, because it's hard to repeat. And we know this. It's very hard to repeat. And that's one of my biggest reasons. It's very hard to get back to back.
That's my biggest reason. 100%.
When you talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, they haven't been back in about 3 to 4 seasons or something like that. The roster makes sense, but I think my issue with the Lakers, as far as playing devil's advocate a little bit, is Anthony Davis's health. He's going to have to play at some point, some 5, and comfortably, if his body can hold up. Sometimes people that go to the Lakers, they were really good on other teams, but they go to the Lakers, they're not so good. And
100%.
So
it's freaking crazy.
It's a little insane that when that happens. So I'm just like,
oh god,
I'm like,
Michael Beasley was one of them. I messed up Michael Beasley. Beasley last year. He was leading the league in 3-pointers or something like that.
Yes.
Percentage. And as soon as he got to the Lakers, he could not shoot a ball in the ocean. It was disgusting.
I swore by Michael Beasley since he was in Minnesota. I love not Michael Beasley, Malik Beasley. I swore by Beasley. I loved Beasley because I was like, oh my God, he's really good. He just needs more, playing time, get on the right team. And then his stock went down going to LA, man. That shit went down. So lately, in the past few years, it's been when certain players go to the Lakers, we see they're not good, or it's the system. And if it's either or, that's not good. So
right.
They could have a bunch of names on a roster and nobody cares. And that seems to be what happened last year. It was a bunch of names on a roster and it was just like whatever. But Austin Reeves, I think he's the real deal. I think we've seen enough. And I think Rui has found his home when he's a role player and he can play the role correctly in LA. Bron, he's supposed to be healthy now. Older though, he's like 38. He'll be 39, I think, at the end of the year.
Oh yeah,
he'll be 39. That's insane. Like
2 months.
Yes,
2 months.
39. We just got to see how that's gonna play out, and if his body holds up. If neither one of those guys are healthy, then this is a different conversation. So we're saying 100%. Health to health, Celtics versus Lakers.
100%. And I like that Laker pick. I didn't want to do it because I'm a Laker fan, so I didn't want to even put that voodoo on them. But even though you put the voodoo on your Celtics, so that's your fault.
I put the voodoo
but no, because one of the reasons I do believe in the Lakers is because we saw what we did last year, how we started the season. We made the trades, finished the season amazing as far as regular season. We go into the postseason, have a great run, go all the way to the Western Conference Finals. Yes, get swept, but each game we were close. Go into the offseason. Instead of getting dramatic and trying to go get the big fish, Kyrie and this and that and that. No, we made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. Let's keep it, and we did this with less than half a season because we know the All-Star break is not the half point break. It's a little bit farther past that. So they had less than half a season to do what they did. How about we bring it back together, maybe add one or two pieces to this puzzle, and let's do it again. So that's why I think it was a very smart move by Rob Pelinka to keep what we had and run it back. So I think the Lakers are going to put themselves in great position to get to the finals.
Listen, Jones, one thing we do know is it's going to be a hell of a season. This is, I think I say this every year, like it's going to be the best season yet. And then they do some other shit and then I say it's the best. It's about to be the best season yet.
Word.
So excited.
Piling up.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And we going to be back next Monday and the Monday after that, Monday after that.
Yes, we're going to be on it. We're going to be on it. Look, preseason starts this week. So we get to peek at it a little bit early. Thursday. Let's go. I'm excited.
Listen, my guy Jones, tell people where they can find you at.
You guys can find me on all social media platforms at Jonesin for Sports. I don't know if it's on there, but usually they got something that's underneath that says Jonesin for Sports. If not, you guys know where to find me at. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and pretty much everything else. Apple, you'll see me. My name's everywhere.
That's what's up. It really is. And you know what it is. It's your girl Nat the GM, and how my name is spelled right here. You can see it is exactly how it is on Twitter. So follow me. We do NBA, we do football. I'm into all of it. So we'll catch y'all next week. Peace out.